What up, gang? What up, gang? It is your boy, Quincy Avery. You are now listening to The Q with Quincy Avery. I'm so glad that you guys decided to check us out, talk a little football, talk a little quarterbacks. We are going to talk quarterbacks. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Steve Clarkson quarterback retreat, which I just came from, which had probably the largest collection of college talent that I've ever seen at a quarterback camp. It was really cool. Like, we got two guys that got projected in the top 5. Now, that's something that you would see oftentimes like an Elite 11 finals. You would see a number of the best college guys, but they'll only bring 4 to 6 of those college athletes. The difference between Steve Clarkson's event and the Elite 11 is Steve probably had 20 college quarterbacks out there, and it's that event is more so an opportunity to see those guys around each other, how they interact, what type of people they are, how they handle fans, those sort of things, more so than the ability to see them throw. And it's really cool to get in that environment and see how these guys get to deal with each other and what that looks like when they're around each other. Something cool for me to see that this past weekend. We had both the Alabama quarterbacks. We had we had Bryce Young out there, which was super cool. And not only with Bryce Young, we had his whole squad. So we got to see Bryce interacting with all the young stunners, the young gunners, young quarterbacks, spending all his time. I know it's really, really something that I look at. It says a lot to me about what kind of quarterback they are, what type of person they're going to be in the future, and what that looks like. Like we saw Malik Willis go out there last year. We saw Trevor Lawrence. All those type of guys have all been through the retreat. They didn't necessarily do a ton of throwing, but you do get to see how they interact. And then let's just talk about the event itself. Steve Clarkson puts on an absolute this is unlike anything that I've ever seen at the quarterback position. Really, any football camp, sports camp, I think that everybody out there who wants to see what it is like to really put on an event that people walk away from and are like, wow, I just really experienced something that was so cool, so memorable, so fun. I was around so many of the top athletes. That's somewhere you would go. I know we hear about like the Steph Curry basketball camp. Those are only for the elite of the elite guys, right? If you're not one of the elite guys, you don't get invited. You don't get to go to that. You don't have the opportunity. Steve Clarkson is opening up his doors to quarterbacks from any and everywhere and giving them an opportunity to hop out there and get after it. And I think that there's nothing quite like that. And it's fun to see, and it's cool to see that environment. So I'm really looking forward to seeing a number of the quarterbacks who are there. And I was saying Bryce Young, and I don't know why the name Jalen Melrose slipped my mind. But, wow, seeing that guy in person, knowing the lineage of Alabama quarterbacks who've come through there, we have Tua, first rounder. We got Jalen after that, who was in the second round. We have Mac Jones. Now we got Bryce Young. And then after that, Jalen Melrose is going to be the next quarterback that we talk about in that very same way. The way that he looks in terms of physical stature, the way that he's built, the speed that he has, his arm strength, all those things lead you to believe that you're looking at someone who has the ability to be really, really, really special. And then someone else who stood out to me, Malik Cunningham. Malik Cunningham has all of the traits that you could desire in terms of a quarterback. They went through a big transition in terms of coaching staff, the guys that they had around them, the offensive system that they're going to be running. And they started a bit slow. But he was able to right the ship, and I think that he's going to be able to put Louisville in a situation where they're going to be able to be really, really good for a really, really long time. And they followed that up with Pierce Clarkson, who's their next quarterback commit. So it's going to be interesting to see how they keep the ball rolling. We get back from break. We're going to go to a quick song. We're going to have Tyrell Adams, linebacker for the Jacksonville Jaguars, 7 year in the league. I'm not even talking about a little bit of the things that he sees or he looks for when he's looking for a quarterback, some of the adversity that he had to go through as he made his way from college to NFL, as somebody who people didn't necessarily know was going to be an NFL player going into his junior year in college. He battled through those things, and he's now in the NFL, and he's been there for a long time. And that is something that not many people can say. We'll be with T.A. In just a minute. He's also known as a Boo-Ray loser, okay? But we'll get back to that in a minute. That was Living Wild by Gunna. I didn't choose that song. T.A. chose that song. He had a choice on what song he wanted to listen to. I'm not sure why his mic is muted, but when he learns how to unmute his mic, hit the button, he'll be live with us. T.A. is somebody who I play Boo-Ray with. He's actually not that good at Boo-Ray. He gets booed all the time. And I know a lot of people on here don't know what Boo-Ray is, but you should get on Google and figure out, T.A., what up?
What's happening, man? What's happening? Man, you is not the Boo-Ray king. Relax now.
Some people would disagree with this, but here we are. Let me put these headphones on because my mic is tripping right now. All right, we should be in good shape. T.A., we got a golf tournament coming up in Atlanta area in a couple weeks. What's going on with that?
Hold on, give me a second. I'm putting this up. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, we can hear you much better now. Yeah, you got a golf tournament coming up in Atlanta. What's going on with that?
Man, yeah, man. So it's my second annual celebrity golf tournament. It's at Bridgeville Athletic Club, Monday, June 27th. This is our second one. So last year we had a really good outing. You came through, or did you come through last year?
I didn't make it. I was training.
I forget. You were supposed to be on Ashley's team, but anyway, your team didn't win. But last year was really dope. Had a bunch of guys come out. Casey Hayward came through. Takeo Spikes. So basically, just a little fun outing for a lot of athletes around that like the golf. I know guys are picking it up. It's a sport that's getting like a lot of craze now. And I was talking to somebody the other day about it. I think it's because I don't know, man. More people are kind of realizing that they can actually play golf. You got places like Top Golf and stuff, and places they kind of like simulate actually playing golf. So more people are kind of like trying to pick it up and try it out and get competitive at it in a sense. But
yeah, we had people getting out there. You know what I'm saying? But it's June 27th, right?
Yep, June 27th, man. Again at Bridgeville Athletic Club. It's hosted by my foundation. It's all right. Go ahead.
So I want to talk to you about the quarterback situations you've been in. You've had the opportunity to kind of navigate a lot of different teams. You've seen a lot of different quarterbacks. I think you've seen two guys who I anticipate being stars in the league for a long time, young points in their career. When did you start knowing Deshaun Watson is really special? Or what was like a moment like that for Trevor Lawrence? You've seen Trevor Lawrence since his rookie year. When was it where you're like, oh, okay, he got it?
You talking about as far as Trevor Lawrence, you want to go to Deshaun Watson?
You can go to both because I want to see how they, intertwine.
All right, so start with D4. I played with him for 3 years down in Houston. And he was electrifying. He had good guys around him. Played really well. He made plays when he needed to. But the thing that made me really, really realize it was my last year in Houston, and we weren't that good. This year we weren't that good. We lost our star receiver. A lot of things kind of like were shaking up on the offense, and a lot of pieces kind of wound up missing as far as like weapons for him. And he still performed. He still performed at a high level, at a really high level, like literally like was top 5 in numbers across the board as a quarterback, even with what people would consider in this day and age, no weapons in a sense. And to do that and still like not miss a beat was kind of like proof to me like he's really like that. I've seen him make like crazy throws in practice, and not just something that would be like abnormal in a sense. Again, it was something that he would do consistently. Like it wasn't even something that was out of routine for him. And it goes back to the fact that he was able to kind of consistently play at a high level no matter what the circumstances were.
Yeah, and now you go to Trevor Lawrence.
Go ahead.
We got Trevor Lawrence who had to deal with a lot. It looked like he had to deal with a lot. Everybody said y'all had to deal with a lot. I ain't going to get into that because
because I don't want you getting in no trouble. But seeing how he kind of handled that adversity looked cool from the outside in. But what's it like every day in the locker room, kind of trying to battle through all that adversity?
So it's weird. So like, I don't know if you know, but like, so I came to Jacksonville the last 2 weeks of the season, so I really didn't get to see, kind of like what they were like facing on the front end. So it's kind of hard for me to speak on that, but I can speak on as when I got in. Again, he had a really good game our last outing of the season. Played confident, played really well, showed a lot of like good skill set, and then going into this offseason and being in the locker room now, he's the solid dude that's kind of like really like good with all the guys around. He's not too big time. He's real humble. And I can really respect it about him. It's kind of hard to find guys like that, especially in the position he has been a first draft pick just a year ago. And he just carries himself in a professional manner. I already see him being highly successful in the future just because of how he carries himself. And he's really willing to put that work in and get better. So it's dope to kind of see that from guys like that on that stature.
Yeah, I've seen Trevor since he was in ninth grade, like back in Cartersville. So I've seen it for a long time. Back when he was in Cartersville, you were at University of West Georgia. What was that moment for you when you like, oh shit, I might be able to play in the NFL? Because I know I was also at a D2 school. I never had the moment where I'm like, oh, I'm about to play in the NFL. I wasn't that good. But what was it? What hit you like, oh shit, I could actually do this? Because I know that it's a little bit different when you're at a smaller school like that. Like, we don't necessarily go in there like, oh, I'm definitely going to play in the league like a lot of guys at other schools.
Oh, hell yeah, for sure. Like, I think, bro, it came to me so late, bro. And I think I've kind of like shared this moment with a few people sometimes. Rare people know, like, it really didn't hit me up, honestly, bro, until, again, I'm back in the day, so I don't know if you remember, but they used to have this thing called the Regional Combine. So,
yes.
Listen, you had to listen. If you
so,
want,
for others who don't know, this is TA from Jacksonville Jaguars. He's talking about the Regional Combine, which isn't even a combine. It's
exactly
the area for folks who can't go to the real combine. But keep going.
And you got to pay to go. That's the funny part about it. So I wound up, even before that, I got a coach my senior year. He comes in. It's like going to the end of the season. I'm playing pretty well. And he's like, TA, you got a chance with NFL. I'm like, bro, shut up, bro. Why are you lying? Like, ain't nobody looking for no damn undersized D2 linebacker in the league, man. Come on now. He's like, no, I'm dead ass. Like, you really could. Like, just stay down and keep working, and you never know what can happen. So I wound up just kind of just like put it in the back of my mind and just kept going, kept working. After the season, kind of go through like the whole like get ready for the, I guess, combine in a sense thing. But in this mind, I know I ain't going to combine. I'm not getting invited to combine. So just working out and training, and then I wound up hearing about the regional combine, which is for like smaller school guys. You pay to go, and they put you through the regular combine drills. But again, you're only performing in front of one team, whatever team's hosting it, and it's like literally like bottom tier thing. Like, this is how bad it was. They actually like stopped doing it. That's how bad it was. They don't even do it anymore.
So one team did it, and they share the video with all the other teams around.
No, they don't even share it with other teams yet. No, hell no. So you perform there, and whatever the scouts from that team is there, I guess like a few of them come in and check it out, and then they evaluate all the guys, and if you do well enough, you get invited to the bigger one, the super regional, because they have like regional ones, like, again, in different regions, like 4 or 5 different ones. And then they'll get the best from all of them and get them come to the super regional, where they have all the scouts from each team come and watch you guys perform and do all the combine drills again. So again, I wind up going to that. I do all right in my mind. Like, man, I ain't do as good as I wanted to do, but I did all right. So I wound up literally waiting to hear back from them if I could come or not. I don't get a call for like a week. So I wound up going into an interview for freaking Northwest Mutual, selling freaking.
You was about to sell life insurance.
Life insurance, bro. I'm about to be selling life insurance, bro. Bro, I remember, bro, I had this big suit on because I ain't got no money this time. I got this like baggy suit. I'm in the interview, and they offered me the job, bro. And I just look around, I see all these cubicles, and you know me, my personality. Like I'm like an out there like person. Like I like to be doing stuff and a people's person. So I'm looking at these cubicles and people working, and it's so quiet in there. I'm literally like, bro, I can't believe it's about to be my life. I'm literally like, it's like dawning on me, and no fault against it, but my personality just didn't fit where it looked like I was heading. So I tell the guy, the recruiter, I'm like, man, I'm just getting this football thing another like week or two, and I give you guys a decision. They're like, all right, we'll understand. And literally, I'm on the elevator on the way down, and I get a call from the regional combine folk, and they're like, hey, we want to invite you out to the super regional. Bro, I'm talking about I started screaming in this lobby. What? You see this black dude screaming in the lobby in his big ass. Just imagine that what's that movie? Pursuit of Happiness, you know, when Will Smith just started crying in the middle of all the people walking around him. Bro, I'm talking about, I literally like, bro, I can go to the league, bro. I really can go to the league. I might got a chance to go to the league. I'm like, dumb hype. So that was like really my moment when I was like, I might go to the league.
Got it. All right, and then you had you had a wild ride because it wasn't like, okay, I get drafted on here. No, you went undrafted, then went to Seattle, then went to Kansas City, back to Seattle. Like, what is that like? Because I don't think enough people know what it's like. We hear a lot of stories of like the first round draft pick, the second round draft pick. Yeah. Maybe somebody gets traded. Folks don't know enough about all the things that go in with maybe you're undrafted. You're just trying to make the team. And you've done way more than make a team. Like, you've made it 7 years. Not many folks get to say that, but what is that like? Like, what happens when you get undrafted and then you get released and get picked up? Like, what does that look like?
All right, so first off, bro, make matters even worse. I don't want to say worse, but more challenging. Bro, I was undrafted tryout. So, like, you got guys, like, they get drafted 1 through 7, and then after the draft, they got guys they call they really want and kind of like team kind of like make Arsenal, priority free agents. And then after that, they call dudes that's left and try to still want a shot at NFL. They invite you to rookie minicamp, and that invite is really just to be a body. Like, you really just a body for a 3-day camp to help them look at the guys they already got. And at this point, it's a myth to me, but they like, yeah, if you do really well, they might sign you. I'm like, all right, I'm believing in this, but my mind like, this is a myth. Ain't nobody. I ain't met nobody that's been through this route. You know what I mean?
I ain't not met one person. I know a lot of people in the NFL. I don't know one person who went not only undrafted, but just on the tryout and ended up on the team. Except for you, you're the only one I read.
Exactly. So when my agent telling me about what could happen, I'm like, bro, shut up, bro. This is a myth. Like, never heard of it. But all right, I'm gonna just go up there for the 3 weekend. And I wound up doing really well. Wound up getting signed. Was there through the offseason.
Seattle, right?
Yeah, Seattle. Wound up signing there. Played through the preseason. Wound up get cut after the final cuts. Get picked up on practice squad by Kansas City. Was on practice squad there for a few weeks.
Wait, so when you get released from Seattle and then picked up by Kansas City, I know if you get traded, they pay for all your moving expenses. But if that happens, do you have to pay for this move yourself? Like, what does that look like?
Oh, no. So when Seattle cut me, I just went right back home. They ain't pay for nothing. And then I go back home, and then I wait around till somebody call me on to give me another opportunity. And then Kansas City called me to come do a workout. And then I did really well at the workout. It was like, hey, we want to sign you to the practice squad. They signed me to the practice squad. And they put me up in a hotel for a while, for maybe like a week or two. And they tell me to find a place. Because after that, I paid for my own place. So I wound up just kind of like shacking up on like a guy's couch and like living on a guy's couch for a while. And
this is what people don't know. That is folks in the NFL who will crash on some of these couches while they're in the NFL, making good money.
While they're in the NFL. But see, that's the reason though. The reason why is because like you never know. Like at this point, I'm a rookie, so I don't really know like my place on the team. I know they brought me in on practice squad, but I don't know how long I'm been on practice squad or whether they cut me or keep me. And they did. They wound up cutting me like 5 or 6 weeks in.
Mm-hmm.
They cut me because like injuries at another position. They need to bring another guy on practice squad for another position because they only get a certain amount of slots on practice squad. Whatever it may be, they wound up releasing me. and they tell me they're going to sign me back in a few weeks. And, it's not nothing it's like a verbal commitment. It's nothing that's really in paper, so you can't trust that. And I know this now. So wound up getting literally I get released from their practice squad, Seattle. So I'm going from Seattle not claims me, but signs me to their practice squad the next day. So I fly all the way back to Seattle. Now I was in Seattle for what? 13 days. Not even 2 weeks, 13 days. Then they cut me off practice squad. And then literally, it can sound crazy because it could be worse, but I always I re-engineer. I was like, bro, it really slick was a blessing because right after I got cut from Seattle practice squad, Quincy called me right back the next day and put me back on their practice squad. So,
well, you had to fly to Atlanta, back to Kansas City
again. Yeah, I didn't. I had went from Kansas City, Seattle, back to Kansas City. And the good thing about that was, I'll always say, I still had a job.
That is a fact. And you bounce around a bit more, but I will say with the Houston Texans, you probably had some of your best years. I'm talking about 120-plus tackles. What was the big change you going from, all right, I'm going to practice squad, battle for spot, oh, I'm the guy in Houston until, they fire their staff. What were the difference in things you did, or what was that? Because I think quarterbacks or young quarterbacks who listen to this show, okay, there's something usually clicks in terms of when I go from being a guy to being a star.
Yeah. I think, honestly, bro, I don't think nothing really changed. I know for sure, throughout that entire process, I was always a worker. I was going to be a worker. Mm-hmm. I think the biggest thing is once you realize in the league is everybody's talented. Everybody's got a gift in a sense. But for me, I kind of put it together. One thing about the league and playing on a professional level is just being ready, So for me, I just kept working. I was working hard. I was getting better. And that's just something I think that's a part of any profession. You got to keep better. You got to keep working. But the thing is that opportunity is going to come and the opportunity is going to prove if you've been working or if you've just been, kind of just sitting back, relaxing in a sense. So my opportunity came when I was in Houston to play more minutes, to be a starter. And honestly, I feel I just prepared from the work I had put in the years prior and everything else leading up into that moment. So once it came, I kind of flourished and had a great stint throughout it. So once they kind of rolled over, I still kept working. I've never upped my game, but I've always kind of kept that same consistent work ethic.
And the level of work you put in.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's so important in terms of, but I don't think you make it to where you are if you don't have that, that ability to work hard and be diligent, even when it doesn't look promising. Because there was times where a lot of folks would have folded in situations you was in. So I think that's special.
I think it's big. So even a part of it is for sure is I remember times where I wasn't even on the team. I was at the house chilling for a while, a few weeks, and I still was working out and putting those hours and those reps as if I was on a team at the time. And I think that's why whenever I kind of got my call and got my opportunity to work out for a team and possibly join a team, I was ready in a sense. I had put in so much background work that the moment wasn't too big, and I was able to kind of shine when my opportunity came.
Yeah, because these folks have been calling you and ask you to play in a game 4 days later. That's wild to me. Hey, we need you. Come learn this. Come hop out here, whether it be on special teams or whatever. They asking you out here to get to work ASAP, and I think that's dope. But I want to thank you for hopping on. I know you got the big golf tournament June 27th. Where can they sign up? If someone's looking to get signed up for your golf tournament, get a foursome. I wouldn't get a foursome. I may get a twosome because you might get paired up with a star athlete because they be out there. So tell me more about it.
Yeah, for sure. So head on over to TyrellAdamsFoundation.com. You'll see it right on the front of the page. You can register yourself, your team, or we got a lot of sponsorship opportunities. The thing is, you come with a foursome, that'd be your best bet. Bring a foursome. We supply the fifth player, the guy that played in the NFL, some celebrities. We got some NFL legends. We got a couple current stars. But it'll be a great time to kind of chill and have a party. I really think of it as like a party on the greens, man. That's what I'm trying to turn it into. So
Let's do it. Let's do it big. I know I got a few folks who want to come out, some golf sponsors, so we're going to make it happen. But no, I appreciate you chopping it up with me for a bit. I hope you have a blessed night. Is we playing Blu-ray tonight? Yes or no? I just need to know.
come on, man. You know what time it is.
You back or you still
I ain't back yet, but listen, I'll be back soon. And when I'm back, I ain't trying to hear none of that. Make sure you air the next time after you play again. Let them know what happened. Don't be lying.
I'm the Boo champ. Boo is a high-stakes card game that gets really, really ugly and really dangerous really fast.
Freaking Blu-ray, bro. Blu-ray.
All right, that's the best food.
All right, man. Appreciate you having me, dog.
Appreciate you. Okay. I want to talk about something that is absolutely blowing my mind, but I think that is right on par with all the things that I've said that have been talked about in terms of NIL. Ryan Day from The Ohio State University, a head coach that I am a big fan of. I think he does great work. He came out and said that he believes to his local community that the Columbus area needs to get together $13 million in NIL money for their collective in order for them to build a football team. And what that means to me is that coaches are now understanding the NIL and they're now using it like a salary cap, right? Like, this is how much money I have. This is how I can construct my roster. I'll need about $2 million for my starting quarterback. I'll need $1 million for a star receiver, a major edge rusher, $1 million. All those things are going to come at a price. So the teams of yesteryear who could go out there and build these huge facilities, build X, Y, Z, that's no longer going to work. And I think it's going to change the landscape of recruiting because teams no longer have to have this crazy story or build a great relationship or rapport. They need to understand how much money they have, and they need to be willing to overpay for somebody if they're at a lower level school or they're maybe at a school where somebody wouldn't have gone before. They're just going to have to add a couple dollars to the deal that they're offering them. Because especially if you're at a position other than quarterback, you need to be able to display your skills more than anything else. It's not necessarily about winning or losing. You display your skills. You'll be able to go on and make it to the NFL, and you can be a star there. So with the NIL, it's going to completely change how people do business, and I look forward to seeing how quarterbacks interact with the market and get their deals done. I'm going to invite some callers, give you guys an opportunity to talk about anything that we spoke about today on today's show. Any questions that you might have had in the conversation, like, oh, TA was talking about this. I maybe don't understand that well. Or maybe we were talking about something in terms of NIL. I want to be able to go into that. If not, I'm going to talk about a recent video that I put up on my quarterback takeover. My Twitter page as well as the quarterback takeover Instagram page. I've seen more and more quarterbacks to this day start throwing with a linear throwing motion. And what that means is guys are generating energy from the ground, but when they do that, they are going towards the target, right? Not being able to stay back, not being able to put their foot in the ground. So I want guys to think about this component when they're starting to think about how they're going to throw the football. There's going to be two things that we're going to be doing. Thing one, when you strive to target, I want you trying to work on keeping your weight back for as long as possible. So keep your weight back in your back hip, try and rotate around your trunk, activate your glutes, activate your hip, and then get your front foot in the ground as fast as possible, keeping your front shoulder closed. That'll allow you to do a couple things. It'll allow you to be a rotational thrower. It'll allow you to create ground force, generate that, go on the target, and allow you to be really, really successful. And I'm looking forward to guys doing that as much as possible. But I want to invite callers in once again, give you guys an opportunity to talk to me. I am your host, Quincy Avery. I look forward to having you guys out. And we have coming up this week at the Quarterback Takeover Family Friday, we have our Black Ops finale. We invited a bunch of guys from all over the country to come on into Black Ops. This is an opportunity to work with the best of the best. You guys are going to get challenged, throw with us. And then Saturday, Sunday is our Quarterback Takeover camp. This is going to be our elite camp. We do our best to try and challenge guys, give them an opportunity to work on the game, work alongside college quarterback, something that we do. It's a little bit different than the Clarkson camp in which we just came from. We just kind of focus on some different things. We're also dead heat of Atlanta. So it's going to be fun. I look forward to seeing you guys out. I appreciate everybody who hopped on to join us on the show. I am going to give us one more song that I love, and I'll leave the opportunity open for you guys to hop on, ask me questions. I'll invite some listeners, and I would love, as always, for you guys to join me. And that is all that we have tonight from the Q by Quincy Avery. I look forward to next week. Next week, we got a special guest. We got a couple NFL quarterbacks. It's going to be like a group conversation. We're going to be on here chatting about all things talking ball. I hope that you guys are able to join us. I hope that you guys are able to ask some questions. I hope that you join us in the lobby. I know that we haven't had a ton of interaction, but I want to encourage people to hop in, talk their piece, ask their questions. And I hope that we can answer them the best of our abilities. Appreciate everybody hopping on. Look forward to seeing y'all next week. Appreciate y'all.